Hello, people of the internet. Or no. So this is a Star Wars video. Let's introduce ourselves properly. I love that. General Kenobi, you are a bold one. All right. Um. All right. All jokes aside, this is yet another tier list making video. I'm going to be as you guys know, I like to have green all the way at the top and red all the way at the bottom and white for hadn't seen. And this time we're going to be ranking the movies and the TV shows. Now, I've attempted to record this video twice, but a couple of audio errors happened. And someone on YouTube pointed it out, and I appreciate the point out. I'm not gonna say them, say their, not gonna say who they are by name, and as a way to protect their identity. Well, I mean, I will say their YouTube name. I will not say their real name. So thank you, Roadies Roy, for pointing that out. Um, I hope there isn't any audio errors this time. So yeah, let's do this. So, um, what do I think of Star Wars: A New Hope? It's absolutely amazing. Um, I don't remember what the very first Star Wars movie I saw was, but it might have been either Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, or Empire Strikes Back. I think it was thinking it was either Revenge of the Sith or New Hope. I know for sure it wasn't Empire now that I think about it. Um, Point is that A New Hope is great, is absolutely fantastic. Here's some reasons why it is. First off, the character of Luke Skywalker is written brilliantly. He starts off as a farm boy looking for adventure, and when he gets it, he ends up learning some things he didn't expect to learn, and he grew as a character because of that. And it's very much badass and satisfying when the rebels are about to be destroyed by the Death Star, but then Obi-Wan speaks through the Force to help Luke guide his missile, his torpedo right into the Death Star's main reactor, or I can't remember what the little hole thing is, what it's called. It's part of the Death Star plan, so I'll have to go back and rewatch the movie sometime. But yeah, and not only that, everything in it is written brilliantly. Some parts may be really boring at times, but it does not change my opinion of it being absolutely fantastic. It has a great story, great world building, great characters. It's just overall a fantastic film. I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I still love it. Uh, I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna put it right here. It's an amazing movie. I've already said that multiple times. I'm not gonna continue to repeat myself. Now, Empire Strikes Back. Everything about it is great. There's not one moment that I'm bored of it. Um, well, I mean, there's like a couple of 30-second sections that are boring, but there's only like they. But the story and everything else that's good about it always overshadows the boring parts for me, and that's why I can always enjoy it. It's very much relaxing film and relaxing film to watch, and one of the reasons is because of Dagobah. Yoda, the scene where Yoda and Luke are in Yoda's little hut, and the rain um is there's like rain sounds, and it's like raining during that time. I love the sounds of rain hitting the top of my of my house's roof, and little thuds from the raindrops is very much relaxing to listen to. It's kind of like the same thing here. And not only that, the story of the rebels having to escape Hoth and going through mischievous adventures, if that's the correct word. I'll give a shit if it is or not. Point is that um everything about it is written brilliantly. It's basically A New Hope, but better. Not in a story sense though. It's just with how good it is. It's just as good as A New Hope, but better. And it's easily my favorite Star Wars movie. Right next to, I'll save that for a little bit later. Um, Easily a 10 out of 10 movie. There isn't much else to say about it. Now let's move on to Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is a bit of a mixed bag for me. The first 30 minutes, the entire section of Jabba's palace is just a bit like, it's really boring. It's not hard to follow, but can be difficult. The parts where all those aliens are dancing and and uh it has that weird CGI. It's funny, but it's really cringy, I think. I don't know. To me, it's like a little bit cringy. It's not too bad, but it kind of gets in the way of the story a bit. Um, I do like that Luke had to fight the Rancor, and Luke kind of got a little bit overconfident. When going in to fight Jabba, well, not fight him. His goal was to save Han from carbonite, and um uh I gotta say it was like executed pretty good, sort of, but it was just like the most boring part for me. I usually don't watch Return of the Jedi unless I'm like skipping right to the Death Star sequence, or like I skip the first 30 minutes because the first 30 minutes, despite all the good parts, just the bad parts of it just overshadow the good for me. The rest of this absolutely fantastic though. Endor is a great part. The Ewoks are fucking hilarious. Um, one of my favorite parts of Return of the Jedi is when Leia discovers Wicket, and then he's like speaking in Ewokese. I can't remember what he's saying. He's like, but I think getting going on or something like that. I can't even speak Ewokese myself. Uh, uh, I think it's funny that the stormtroopers call them bears. Kind of are bears, but they're like tiny ass little bear fuckers. That's basically what the Ewoks are. Um, what else is there about it? Oh yeah, Luke and Vader. They are easily the best parts for me. The same thing with the Emperor. I get really uneasy and uncomfortable when I'm watching. Do me a favor. Everyone down. As I was saying, uh, kind of lost my train of thought. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Um, oh yeah, I get really uneasy and like I get uneasy and like yeah, I think that's the correct word for it. I get really uneasy whenever I'm watching a movie and it gets to the part where the Emperor is zapping Luke with lightning. That part just like makes me so uncomfortable. But it's worth it in the end because for one, that's how the scene is supposed to be. Like you're supposed to feel uncomfortable in that scene, especially if you're very connected to Luke Skywalker, like I am. Um, it's worth it because for one, it only lasts like 1 to 2 minutes, and once you get to the end of the scene, it feels like a real stretch reliever for like a few reasons. Luke is no longer getting hurt. Darth Vader has his redemption, throws the Emperor over the iconic balcony on the Death Star. The Emperor blows the fuck up. Vader dies a peaceful death. The part where Vader finally redeemed himself and Luke took off his mask so that Vader could have one final look at his son with his own eyes. That part gets me every time. The part that really gets me the most is the very ending, the victory celebration, where um the characters are on Endor and they are celebrating the end of the Empire and a new era of peace. And it's like it's so heartwarming. It's so heartwarming. It just makes me break. It just makes me cry every time. And it's like it's absolutely amazing. Uh, Characters definitely do deserve it. I write a comment um of someone saying that one of the reasons why they cry every time because they know those characters worked so hard to bring down the evil empire. Finally got their happy ending and deserved it. And like it I gotta quote them because that's not I agree with that. That's not a bad way to look at it at all. I think that's a great way to look at it. And overall, it's an absolutely fantastic ending. Um, just for that alone, I think I'll give Return of the Jedi a 9 out of 10. My Return of the Jedi feelings constantly conflict with one another. It's sometimes one day an 8 out of 10, maybe another's like a 9 out of 10. It depends on the mood and how I'm feeling. Whatever I'm like giving my opinion on it. Um, yeah, Return of the Jedi is easily a 9 out of 10 film for me. Same thing with A New Hope. They're about on the same level for me. Return of the Jedi is slightly worse than New Hope in my opinion. Just slightly. Not about much, but just a tiny bit. Only because the boring moments last longer in Return of the Jedi than in A New Hope. Though A New Hope doesn't have as many emotional moments as Return of the Jedi does. And now continuing on to Phantom Menace. What do I think of the Phantom Menace? I think it's just like it's decent. Um, Qui-Gon Jinn, he was kind of unlikable for me. He was just like an okayish character. Anakin was like classic. Anakin was classic. Little kids. He's the representation of that. Um, Padme as a character, she was okay. Darth Maul was a fantastic part. I feel like The Phantom Menace is just like a decent film at most, or good at most, but it isn't like great or amazing. Um, Duel of Fates is an amazing ending of the movie with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Maul fighting in the Naboo generator room. In the Theed generator complex, that's what it's called. The the big ass room with the big beams. The like the most iconic part of the Phantom Menace, where like you're they're in the hangar and they open the big ass door, and then Maul, Kenobi, and Jin all enter this like big generator room, and they fight all the way to the end of it and get to this little room where that's where Maul has his fall. Yeah, that's the Generator complex. Azama, that's like the best part of the movie for me. The ending is a little bit similar to A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, but it just isn't as effective, in my opinion. It's nice music on Naboo. It's like a nice ending. My favorite part of that ending is like the final shot where Boss Nass is holding up that orb and the music starts intensifying and it transitions right into the credits. I think that's a great way to end the movie. And it's a nice little callback to the ending of A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, like I said before. So at most, I'll probably get at most a 7 out of 10. But the rest of it is unenjoyable in comparison to the end part of it. Anakin destroying the Trade Federation ship, that was an okay part for me. I think overall, my true feelings on it lies in around a 6.5 out of 10. Let's put it there. Anakin Scott or Attack of the Clones. Um, I love Attack of the Clones. I think it's great in comparison to the Phantom Menace. It's not an amazing movie, but it's pretty good. The last time I saw it, I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10. Uh, Count Dooku was like I don't know how to describe him. I don't want to say lame because that's just actually that's more of a mild way to describe him. It's not a strong way. And I like to when I'm like saying big words like that, I like to like keep it mild when I'm describing something I like. If I have a problem with the thing that I like, so I think the best way to describe Dooku it would be lame. He's not uninteresting. I think he's a somewhat interesting villain, but the way he's executed, he's just a bit lame in comparison to Maul and Vader and Palpatine. He never really was one of my favorite villains, but he kind of is a cool villain in some ways. But in most ways, he's lame. He's like a mixed bag for me. I like how he holds his saber. It's very elegant and it feels cool. It's like the kind of stance I'll go for sabers. Like does this. That was badass. And the part where Yoda and Dooku fight, um, that was a good part. It wasn't great, but it was good. Um, uh, I love the fight on Geonosis where Mace Windu leads the clones into battle against the Separatists. That part was absolutely amazing to me, even though it didn't last long enough for me. Battle of Geonosis, but I loved the shots. I loved the action. The Battle of Geonosis was fantastic for me. That was the best part for me. Even the ending where Anakin and Padme get married, just that was like chef's kiss moment. I love the music, visual effects. Maybe doesn't hold up so much, but I don't really give a shit. I think Hayden and Natalie Portman, Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman did great in that scene. Um, that's like that's just a great way to end the movie. Overall, like I said, I'll give it about a 7.5 out of 10. It's not a great movie, but it's a damn good and enjoyable movie. I'll usually give it a 7 out of 10. Although I will speak a little bit more about it. Camino. Camino is like a pretty good part for me as well. First 20 minutes are probably the worst part for me, but they're still enjoyable. Attack of the Clones, in my opinion, is an enjoyable movie and a good movie. That's why I put it about a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Now, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is easily the best prequel for me. I recently rewatched it. I fucking loved it. Um, Anakin's journey and his fall to the dark side is absolutely fantastic. Um, Battle of Kashyyyk was pretty cool. Wasn't too great, but it was still cool. Battle of Utapau was pretty cool too. Battle of Magito, there wasn't much to it. Hell, there aren't very many battles seen in Revenge of the Sith other than the first like 20 minutes, which is the Battle of Coruscant. That part was amazing for me. Everything about the Revenge of the Sith was amazing to me. Not literally everything, but on the grand scheme of things, it's an amazing movie. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I don't care. I love Revenge of the Sith. It's my favorite Star Wars movie next to Empire. I don't know which is better for me. Um, uh, though I find more enjoyment. No, they're equal enjoyment. They're equal. I don't. I don't know which one to like put higher because to me, if Revenge of the Sith on this tier list scale right here is right next to Empire, but it's on the right, to me that means it's slightly lower. I don't know how to make it so that they're on equal ground. I don't think I can. I don't know. I think I think I'm gonna put Revenge of the Sith just right above Empire. Because I love Empire. Um, Revenge of the Sith is like slightly better to me overall, only because like that's one of the movies I grew up with next to Empire. This this movie right here, I literally have it right here in my hands, Revenge of the Sith, is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Now for The Force Awakens. This movie right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but yeah, I have The Force Awakens right here in my hand. I loved The Force Awakens when I first saw it. I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I first saw it. I don't know how I feel about it now. I haven't seen it in a while, but I mean, like I've said a few times how I feel about it, but like considering how positive I feel right now, it's about a conflicting opinion for me. Um, I'll try to break down my thoughts on it. So, first 10 minutes on Jakku, that one was an okayish part for me. The action was decent. Poe Dameron was like an okayish character to me. Finn was a great character. Rey was okayish. She was a bit unlikable, in my opinion. Han was great in the movie. Uh, Leia was good, I guess. The plot was pretty cool, but like, it's the plot is like plot to me is like a little bit too simplistic. To me, it's like I'd like that similar to New Hope, but I feel it's a bit too similar. Um, uh, some parts were really boring to me. I just can't help but feel like it's a great movie, but it's kind of boring in comparison to the other Star Wars movies. Um, I feel like I'll put The Force Awakens around the 7 out of 10 mark to an 8 out of 10. I feel like a good mark for it would probably be an 8 out of 10, maybe. Hmm. Let me think about this for a second. I think it's a better movie than Attack of the Clones, but in some ways, Attack of the Clones is better than The Force Awakens. You gotta think about this. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Yeah, so overall, about a 7.5 is on the same level of enjoyment as Attack of the Clones for me. It's just actually like Attack of the Clones a little bit more, so fuck it. I'm gonna put Attack of the Force Awakens just right behind Attack of the Clones. The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was great. I'm not sorry to say that. Um, the Last Jedi. Let's break it down. My thoughts on it, like before I give it an overall opinion, an overall rating. First 10 minutes, the Battle of Dukar or the Battle above Dukar, little skirmish. Yeah, fuck it. It was a space battle. Space battle above Dukar. Battle above Dukar. All right, so so the joke, I gotta say, like the most infamous part of the movie or of that scene is the about your mother joke, where Post just being a cocky asshole and just being all like being all like, yeah, I'm holding in for General Hugs, and then Hux is like, this is Hux. You and your friends are doomed. We'll wipe your filth from the galaxy. And then Post is like, okay, I'll hold. And Hux is like, can he hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Just like, I don't remember exactly what Poe said, but I do remember he said something like this. Um, yeah, Leia has an urgent message from I can't give it to him. And then the officer's like, I believe he's tooling this, and then Poe's just like, about his mother. And Huck's just like, open fire! I gotta admit, that was a funny joke to me. And to me, one of the few reasons why is that Poe, it sets up conflict in the Resistance. It's sure, no, there's a point someone made where, um, Hux, or it feels like a real tension breaker. And I can understand why they feel that way, but I look at it differently. To me, I look at it as more as view as a setup for conflict, a setup to actually intensify the tension. Because to me, if you think of it like that, that means there's more tension. Because for one, if you look at that joke and think of it like this, if you're saying there like, what the fuck are you doing, Poe? You're being an idiot. Yeah, it sets up more tension. It kind of does. Where the rebels, because of Poe being a little dickhead like that, the rebels are in even more danger. While the First Order get the upper hand, but Hux has a really big ego, so he kind of got pissed off by Poe's joke, and Poe got lucky in the moment. He's lucky that it didn't just get blew up um blaster fire from a stupid from a petty joke he made. But um I feel like it intensifies the tension, and the joke was actually kind of funny to me. I thought it fit the characters and the moment. Overall, I think it's a good joke. Enough rambling about the joke. I'm talking about mostly the movie itself. Luke Skywalker was great in that movie to me. When I first saw the movie, I thought it was a bit weird, but then he threw the lightsaber over the cliff. But uh, but after watching the rest of the movie, I understood why he did that. And I do like that Yoda showed up to finally knock some sense into Luke and inspire him to go back into that hero form he was in before. And then he went off to sacrifice himself to buy time with the Resistance to escape Crate. Um, that was a good part to me. That was absolutely fantastic. Uh, uh, and Leia was okay in the movie. Rey was still just, she was just slightly better in this one to me. Not too much better, but just slightly. Uh, she was a bit unlikable in The Force Awakens for me. In this one, she's slightly more likable, but still isn't that likable to me. Um, Snoke was pretty good, but he wasn't like great. Kylo was good in the movie. He wasn't great, but he was good. Overall, I'd give it about like a 7.5 out of 10, just as much as Attack of the Clones. Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Attack of the Clones are all on the same level for me. I just enjoy The Last Jedi just a little bit more than both of them. I think I'm gonna put it like right here. I think that's a good fit to put The Last Jedi. The Rise of Skywalker. Let me break down my thoughts on it. Mustafar, the Mustafar opening was great to me. Elden. Just noticed this little commercial down here. Yeah, fucking Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring. Let's not get off topic. Um, uh, Rey was actually improved a lot for me in the Rise of Skywalker. I liked her a lot in Rise of Skywalker. Kylo Ren was likable as well. He was probably the best he was in Rise of Skywalker. Palpatine was fantastic in it. Exegol was the best part for me. I loved the Battle of Exegol. Uh, I love I love a lot of things about the Rise of Skywalker. Pacing was too fast for me though. Not way too fast, but like it was fast enough for me like catch up, but not fast enough. If you know what I mean. Probably not doing a good job of explaining it. Personally, I don't care if I am. Um, that's the best way I can describe my feelings on the pacing. Um, the lightsaber duels were probably the worst parts for me in the Rise of Skywalker. The first Ring Kylo duel, the Vision duel, um where Rey is on Kijimi and Kylo's on his destroyer. No, Rey is on the destroyer and Kylo's on Kijimi. Um, that was like one of the best and worst duels in my opinion. Rey versus Empress Palpatine duel was kind of cool. The one where she sees herself. People call her Dark Rey. I call her Empress Palpatine. Uh, Rey versus Kylo in the Death Star. Easily one of the worst duels in the movie and overall the saga. I didn't like that duel at all. I thought it was bad. It wasn't terrible, but it was just bad to me. I didn't like that duel. Moving on. Um, the ending of it, the ending of the duel was fantastic. I loved that Leia called out to Ben, and um, it was an amazing part for me. The Rise of Skywalker really starts getting good for me once it reaches the part where the heroes arrive to Kefir, which is the Death Star sequence. Well, the ruins of the Death Star sequence, the wreckage. Yeah, the sauna was like the most boring part for me. Kijimi, same thing with that. Those parts there just wasn't enough going on for me. Overall, I enjoy it a little bit more than The Force Awakens, but at the same time, I enjoy The Force Awakens a little bit more than that. The Last Jedi, I think, is better than both of them. Uh, but it's like I don't know where to put Rise of Skywalker. Uh, I think I'll put it in between Attack of the Clones and The Force Awakens. I think that's a good spot for it, in my opinion. Now, Rogue One, I've talked about Rogue One multiple times. I don't really want to talk about it. I have to. Rogue One was very forgettable for me. The team wasn't forgettable. At least their names weren't. The dialogue was forgettable for me. Saw Gerrera was like a bit of an unlikable part for me. Jyn Erso was probably she was an okayish part to me. Krennic Krennic was cool. Vader's castle was easily memorable. The final battle was amazing. Um uh yeah, the final battle of Rogue One was absolutely amazing to me. Um Final battle was great. I don't love Rogue One. It's not as much as the other movies. I kind of love it, but I do like it. I definitely do like it. It's not bad to me. I think it's good. I think I'd give it at most 7 out of 10. I enjoy all four of these movies more than Rogue One, but it's still not like great. I think I'll put it all the way at the bottom of the 7 out of 10. Now Solo. Hmm. Solo was great to me when I first watched it. No, it was amazing to me when I first watched it. Um, Han, I think, went through an amazing journey. Kira was good, decent. Yeah, Kira was just like decent. She was just okay, a decent part. I don't remember her very much. The Maul cameo was absolutely amazing to me. Um, uh, I don't remember very much of it. I think it's a good movie, but it's easily forgettable to me in comparison to the other movies. Now, I may not like Rogue One that much, or I may not love it that much, but I think in some ways it's a better movie than Solo. Solo was good to me, but it wasn't like great or amazing. I think it's a cool movie to watch. Overall, I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10 as well. Yeah, I'll put it right there. I think it's a good fit to put Solo. The Clone Wars movie, I loved it when I first watched it. It was absolutely amazing to me. And every time I do watch it, I love it. I just love the Clone Wars movie. I don't have much issue with it at all. I'd probably give it about an 8.5 out of 10. I don't remember very much of it. I do remember the Battle of Christophsis. Obi-Wan being a cocky little asshole in it. That was funny. Um, uh, wasn't that amazing or that great? But it still was great. I think I'll put it in the 8 out of 10 ranking. The Clone Wars show, that was cool. I don't remember everything about it, but I think it's a great show. I'm starting to get a little bit tired, guys. So I'm probably not gonna keep on going too much. I'm gonna keep things brief so I can end this quicker. That might seem a little bit impatient, but I don't really care. I feel like ending this video, but I need to get all these opinions to you guys, so yeah. Let's keep going, at least for a little bit more. The Clone Wars show, like I said before, that was great. I think it's about as great as the movie. Some parts of it are just like okayish. A lot of it is skipped because there just were some parts I just didn't like. But I still love the show. I'm probably gonna put it like right here. I can get through the Clone Wars movie much quicker than the show, and actually, I enjoyed the movie a little bit more than the show. I'm not sorry to admit that. Now, Star Wars Clone Wars, the 2003 Cartoon Network version of it, I have not seen that one. I might watch it when I have a chance. Same thing with the Bad Batch. I have not seen the Bad Batch. Star Wars Rebels, that was absolutely amazing to me. It wasn't like perfect. It wasn't like the best. But I think in some ways it is better than the Clone Wars. Hell, I actually enjoy Rebels way more than the Clone Wars, in my opinion. I love Rebels. There isn't much to say about it. I love Ezra as a character. I love Kanan. Kanan is my favorite character in it. Vader was amazing. Maul was amazing. Ahsoka was great. It was a great bridge between the Clone Wars or between the Clone Wars era and the Imperial era. Easily right here. It's easily right there. Now, Forces of Destiny. I think that's a decent show. The episodes are really short, but that's kind of the point. They're just like really short episodes. They're just like tiny little misadventures. I think it does good for what it does, but it's not great. I feel like a good fit for would probably be like uh right there. Yeah. Mandalorian. Mandalorian was fuck. When I first watched it, I enjoyed it very much. Um I loved Grogu. I love season 1 and 2. I love Ahsoka's comeback. I love Luke's absolutely amazing ending where he just went through the hallway and just demolished those fucking dark troopers. Um, Moff Gideon was like an okay-ish character. He was one of my only issues with it. Oh, I love the fucking dark saber. That is one of my favorite lightsaber designs. Um, I love it. I love the Mandalorian. I think I don't like it as much as the Clone Wars, at least not as much as the movie or Rebels, but I still love it. I think a good fit for it is like right here. Yeah, it fits well for me right there. Visions, I've not seen Visions, nor have I seen Book of Boba Fett. Resistance, I've seen the first 5 minutes of the first episode, didn't really like it, and I will not return to it. I do not like Resistance at all. Technically, I haven't seen any of it. I just want to forget about it, so I'm just gonna put in haven't seen. Obi-Wan Kenobi, that was great to me. I loved Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's very similar to The Last Jedi for me. And that's kind of one of the things I love about it. And not only that, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi went through a great arc um of uh like overcoming his trauma with Vader. And my favorite scene in the entire show is the final episode where Obi-Wan and Vader have their duel on Jabim. I think. I think that's what it is. Didn't make it clear what that planet they fight on is called, but frankly, I'll give a shit. I give a shit more about the story of it. I love Reva's little journey where Reva goes to kill Luke Skywalker. Take note that Luke is a 10-year-old around this time. And Reva, my favorite part of it is of Reva is when she's about to strike down an unconscious Luke Skywalker. She remembers herself as a child and remembers Anakin stabbing her. And since she knows Anakin is Vader, she doesn't want to be like him. And that's the thing I love about her. Is I think she's written brilliantly like that. I love Reba. She may not be great. She may not be amazing, but I think she's a great character. She's one of my favorite characters in the show. Obi-Wan and Vader are my favorite characters in the show. And I gotta say, episode 4 is really underrated of Kenobi. Part where, or the one where Obi-Wan goes through Fortress Inquisitorius to rescue Leia. That was a great part to me. I loved episode 4. A lot of people don't like it. I love it. From what I heard, from what I've seen, my expectations were really low for episode 4 after constantly hearing about how bad and just okay-ish it was. But no, I thought it was a lot better than I expected it to be. I'm a I loved I thought episode 4 was a great episode. It's one of my favorites of the series. Episode 1 was pretty good. Episode 2, same thing with episode 2, that was really good as well. Episode 3, that was okay-ish in comparison to the other two, but it was still pretty decent. Episode 4 was amazing to me. Episode 5 was better. Episode 6 is the best episode for me. Um, I love the show. It's absolutely fantastic. In fact, I think I actually enjoy Obi-Wan more than the Clone Wars and all these other ones. In fact, I think I know where I'm gonna put this. Give me a second thing. I'll put it like right here. That's where I'm gonna put Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love the show so much. So yeah, guys, that's my ranking of the that's my tier list of the Star Wars um movies and TV shows. Revenge of the Sith and Empire being my favorites. A New Hope and Return of the Jedi in 9 out of 10. Obi-Wan Kenobi is my 7th favorite. Yeah, it's it's an amazing series to me. Well, Star Wars is. Star Wars is an amazing franchise to me. So yeah, guys, there's much else to say about it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And is there any goodbye quotes in Star Wars? Uh, if there is, I can't really think of any. Oh wait, there's one. So yeah, here's a good way. Here's a good way in this video. Goodbye, friends. May the force be with you.